Hi everyone, this is Rishabh. This is the start of a YouTube series for supporting, a blockchain fund for the pandemic. And yeah, a very most important initial question is, what is the big deal about Bitcoin? People speculated a lot on it. I mean, something that can go up from a few cents to $20,000 at the market peak to like about 10,000 ish now. So I'll cover this basic question, keep it as less jargon as possible, make it simplistic, and a bit about me, why you should, listen to me even for a few seconds. Is I started my Bitcoin journey back in 2013, trying to understand the world and trying to see in different aspects and try to invest in this thing, try to see what it is that then ended up doing a master's thesis in it from TU Delft, Netherlands. I mean, 2016ish, and come to 2020, work with a few blockchain projects on basic income, and now also on battle rap on the blockchain. So yeah, I'm going to get into this now. So the thing about Bitcoin, which is most fascinating, when I think about it now, is how the fact that you can have a digital currency which nobody owns, and there's like a 51% attack thing here, but leaving aside jargon, and nobody can control it, censorship resistant in a way, and private also in a way, and yeah, the fact that we can all have an account on our computers, which we all can tally and compare and send value to each other just by a click of a button. There are such savvy wallets now like Exodus. It is very, very simple. And you have like your own Bitcoin address, like you have your email address, and yeah, you're transacting global value. I mean, it might seem very trivial, but if you do it via the traditional systems, I mean, you will take like 8 to 10% of costs you have to pay just for that remittances. So that's a big deal that now we all can be connected and share value in such an easier way. Just like with the internet, you could share information. So this was seen as a progression towards that sense of decentralization, and maybe coming from the Indian ethos of Gandhi, of Swaraj in a way. So the fact that we can decentralize the world more and more is maybe a good thing in the larger sense as well. You'd be surprised how we started the whole thing about Bitcoin back in the days, about being digital money and a way to connect the world, to now if you speak to more like mainstream people, they'll give you the thing about being digital gold and like store of value. And that is fascinating because now you have thousands of blockchain coins. I'll come into blockchain and other things later. So there are other tokens that can also do money. That's not a big problem, but the bigger problem is that in this current world, post 1970s, the Bretton Woods Conference, gold became kind of removed as the reserve currency for the world. Like, so for the financial world to work, you need like a reserve which everybody relies on to give value, and it became the US dollar of the United States, which gave it a lot of financial power. And owing to that, a lot of money was borrowed. The global debt of countries, like 250 trillion plus currently, basically from citizens in a way, or investors, and that's not a good macroeconomic stability. So then the thing was that if we could have a decentralized sort of currency system like Bitcoin, which hasn't been hacked or taken down for like a decade. I mean, you can read about it. It's really interesting that China or other countries also try to bring it down, ban it so many times. There's like 99 Bitcoins, like about obituaries, and every time they said it'll die, it came back like hundreds of times. Even the media speculated that way. So that's a big deal that maybe it could become like a digital gold in a way, which we all can have a piece of in some way. And even the International Monetary Fund can put into SDR, special drawing rights, so for global stability. Wrapping up, my points, a digital, decentralized, global, censorship resistant, which in these times is important. Mass protests around the world for many citizen rights, democracy, etc. And then maybe as a reserve currency for the world, so that the financial base of the world is more stable. I mean, Bitcoin and stability, not so good friends right now, but any new asset, like if you go back to the start of the internet, everything was very volatile, but it stabilizes. So Bitcoin is in that phase. It'll take like a decade to like really stabilize in value. So yeah, that will probably cover my points on why it's not only about cheap profit, but about values of democracy, decentralization, and also about financial wealth maybe being spread around. Like people might say, the early people made a lot of money, it's very unfair, the gap. But you got to realize that the traditional financial system has been built over 400 plus years. So we are kind of having a revamp now, which is, I think, great. So that will cover my points. I've kept some links also, below, if you want to have a link to the thesis for some more rigorous ideas, to more fun ideas like a cartoon series, Bitcoin and Friends, to explainer videos by journalists and all. So enjoy and leave your comments, and happy to be with you on this Bitcoin journey. Bye.